Yes, there are there are three certainties in this world: death, taxes, and when you go live on Kick, you will have a bot that will join your channel and ask you if you want to join and get whatever. Kick is actually a really interesting story. They are poised to take over as the number one streaming platform for a couple of different reasons. And the big one was, I'm a nobody streamer. I will be the first to say, by the metrics, sometimes I'm in the top 0.1% of streamers, but at the same time, I make sure people realize I get there with like 50 viewers. So when I had the couple of hundred people every day, when I was covering the Ashes stuff a couple of days in a row, that put me right back up into the top 0.1%. And at the end of the day, that doesn't mean anything because you can have 50 viewers on Twitch and make 16 cents. But on Kick, if you have 50 viewers, you're going to get, once you're in their monetized program, you're going to get a fairly nice paycheck, right? It's not going to be amazing if you're multi-streaming. Yeah, if you can grow on Kick, and well, the trick is you have to get monetized on Kick. There's where the hard part is. Because I'm a Twitch partner and my show was doing so well for a couple of weeks in a row, Kick just bypassed their requirements and let me into their partner sharing program, their profit sharing program. I don't warrant the number to do that on my own, but they reached out to me. I think that's where Kick is going to. I think the last time I saw a number, Kick represented about 25% of the market share, and I haven't seen an updated number. But if you can get a guaranteed paycheck for streaming and you can get 100 viewers, you could do that. And if you don't multi-stream, you don't take the reduced rate, yeah, there's money to be had there. But we're also seeing the change. How can Kick pay more than Twitch? Because Kick is backed by online gambling, by online casinos. So it gives them the ability to have a different pool of money, which could pay streamers if they got back to setting up. So here's Amazon. And then here's Twitch. And if Twitch did some things, made some moves, they could actually pay the streamers a small hourly wage. But the big thing they would have to do is they would have to get rid of almost all of the 0, 1, 2, 3 streamer people. Like, all those people cost Twitch money. Let's just look at how many people are streaming right now. So, right now, live statistic. There are 83,000 channels broadcasting on Twitch right now. That's a lot of cost for Twitch. The reason why that's a lot of cost is that's 83,000 streams that they're receiving, encoding, and redistributing. Probably 81,000 of those are 0, 1, 2, just 0, 1, and 2 viewers. As I've said, if they cut through, and it would be cutthroat to be competitive with Kick, if you can't get, we're going to put ads on all the channels. regardless of your status. That would suck. But if you can't get yourself monetized into the affiliate program within 90 days, then there's a fee associated to start streaming on Twitch. You pay us to stream until your channel makes enough money to be revenue neutral. And that's the only way Twitch is going to be able to shed an awful lot of their expenses. Also, why Kick is a little bit better is the passive income side. You pay me to bring people to your platform. The people support me without spending $1. Like, I don't make dick. Have to start keeping both open to fund a brass jazz album. Yeah, that is ultimately where all the money goes. Funny enough, I did the company's taxes yesterday. I was waiting on one 1099 in order to make a decision. Ultimately, it didn't matter. PGN ran at a loss last year. And it happens. I spent too much money on the other album, the blues album. Isn't it kind of a benefit for Amazon having Twitch running in the red, though, as a write-off? No, it is never a benefit to be running in the red. It's never. People hear that. It's one of those things that people say, and they're like, "Oh, well, companies have subdivisions that run in the red because it's a tax write-off." Yeah, but it's still a loss. Remember, a tax write-off means I don't pay tax on that money. I would rather have the money and pay 28% tax on it. Like, I pay 29.5% corporate taxes. I'm not going to make a statement like I don't want $1 million because I don't want to give the government $290,000. Of course I want $1 million. I have no problem giving the government $290,000 of that because I keep the the 710 remainder. Of course I want to pay taxes. Of course I don't want to pay taxes. But if it's an option of having $0 and paying zero taxes, or having $1 million and paying $290,000 in taxes, I'll take the $1 million, thanks. I actually realized what kept me stuck on my taxes, though, the corporate taxes. I'm like, why is the number coming up? I can't write off the charity donation. And I'm sitting there for like 45 minutes and I'm stuck. And I'm like, why the hell can I not take the charity donation? And why do I have a $270 carryover from the previous year's charity donations? It's like, because I'm running out of loss. You can't write off charity donations if you're already getting 100% of your taxes. That's 63 months right there. Phelan has been brainwashed for 63 months, forced to think, forced to challenge. It's a long time. I've been doing this a long time. Speaking of doing this for a long time, the other thing I've done for a really long time is looked at the world, looked at our country, and honestly, can I just say, I don't understand our president in the slightest. US 30-day waiver on Russian oil sanctions. Why in the blue fuck would we give a 30-day waiver on Russian oil sanctions and literally piss off all of our European allies and Ukraine, because now Russia has the opportunity to sell oil for a month, make money, and so they are no doubt going to give Iran some money. They'll either give Iran money directly, or they'll buy stuff from Iran, and Iran will get money. President Zelensky said Friday the U.S. 30-day waiver on oil sanctions amid the Iran war is not the right decision and won't help bring a stop to Russia's more than 4-year-old invasion of Ukraine. Donald Trump doesn't have the foresight to be a geopolitical leader. Yeah, giving Russia a huge windfall while Iran is using their shaheeds instead of shipping tons to Russia. Iran has managed to close the Strait of Hormuz. Probably gave the waiver to get Russia to take a break from providing targeting info to Iran. Yeah, the drones, Iran has been giving Russia drones and ballistic missiles because it has enough ballistic missiles. As we've seen now, its limiting factor was launchers, not missile inventory. If you have 2,500 ballistic missiles but only 500 launchers, and then 14 days into the war, you have about 100 launchers left. Because BRICS is still getting oil from Hormuz, they made a deal with Iran to let their tankers through. Well, yeah, of course they did. But the problem is, oil is one of those leave it alone commodities. Because the oil industry panics. There's the line from Deepwater Horizon, you're nervous as cats. The oil countries, they rely on no disruption to the oil flow. And now we've reached day 14, which now we have to start accounting for disruptions to oil. Many Middle Eastern countries have said, we're not going to make our delivery on time because we can't get through the Strait of Hormuz. Our refineries have been bombed. But so if the East is getting oil, Trump wants West to get oil that can only come from the US and Russia. Yeah, but the problem is that's clearly what Donald Trump is thinking. But it doesn't matter if China is getting oil. Like, Donald Trump continues this narrative that China is the big bad enemy. China doesn't care right now. China's like, okay, we're in our industrial revolution. China is laying more concrete every year than the US lays in a decade. China is just modernizing. The idea that China needs 16 million barrels of oil a day is a myth. They don't. They need 4.1 million barrels of oil a day. This is their need line. This is their consumption line. This is their minimum level. This is just what they're operating at. And they can produce this domestically. So this whole idea that Donald Trump says is like, well, in order to control China, look at how China responded to the United States and all their bullshit last year. Yeah, he knows he can't protect the Strait of Hormuz, so his dumb idea is to cover it up, is to lift sanctions. And now there's a lot of reasons why the Strait of Hormuz is difficult to keep open, because it's that narrow. It's not like you can have, there's lots of different toys in the toy box that you can use to close this. You don't need a Navy apparently to do that. You don't need an Air Force apparently to do that. I mean, we know that you don't. You can take out an oil tanker with shoulder mounted rockets, and you can't see those until it's too late. It's the same as over here. I think that, yeah. I think you might be correct. Let's see if we can pull that real quick. But yeah, you can't keep that open. You can't keep the Gulf of Aden into the Red Sea open, right? You can't, because the Houthi rebels can disrupt that. So yeah, we're going to have some issues here with global supply. There is, 2 nautical mile wide inbound lane, 2 nautical mile separation, 2 nautical mile outbound lane. 21 nautical miles wide total, but only 6 miles of that is the tanker traffic. And tankers are slow. Not sure if you saw what I posted. Unfortunately, the 6-man crew of the KC-135 did pass away. I did look into that. The KC-135s are old. We've started replacing them with the KC-46. It is a shame. I am going to be interested to see what the after action report on that crash says. But the sad part is, every single day right now in the Middle East, 6 service members were killed. 4 were killed, 2 were missing. The other 2 have been pronounced dead. So all 6 men on that crew were pronounced dead. And the problem is, the more opportunities, the more opportunities that there are for accidents, you'll have accidents. Remember, perfection, a lot of people believe that perfection is 0 defects per million opportunities. Well, of course, but you will always have accidents. You will always have incidents. You will always have bullshit happen. That's why the target, the ideal perfect target is 0 incidents ever. But the accepted lean 6 Sigma target is 3 rounded down. It's like 3.2 per million opportunities for a defect. Well, unfortunately, putting a plane up in the air has a lot of steps to it. I'm not surprised. We've had 3 F-15s shot down by an ally. It's I'm not surprised. These things are going to happen. Also, remember, the U.S. military has been at peace for relative peace for the last 10 years. You start ramping up more and more operations. I mean, shit. We have a 3rd aircraft carrier on its way to the Middle East. That's unprecedented. Trying to get all my typing in before my hands give out. Reports from the press on the ground in Iraq saying Shia Iraqis are joining Iran's cause and attacking the U.S. and allies in that area. Well, no, the 135 wasn't taken down hostilely. So we already know that. It is true that several Iran-aligned militant groups in Iraq have attacked the U.S., but that's not new. We've known about that. The KC-135 is initially being reported as a mid-air collision with another KC-135. Although Iran militants claimed they shot it down, we have to wait for the official report. A French soldier was killed in Iraq. And this is where I did say previously, Iran is the nation with the largest population. Hold on one second. Pause real quick so that I can fucking vent about how goddamn terrible healthcare people are. That was the cancer center. I had a biopsy last week. She calls. She's like, I've been waiting for this phone call. And she's like, can you confirm your date of birth? Yes, da-da-da. And then she's like, so you had a biopsy on your, my foot. She's like, yeah, I accidentally closed your file. If you accidentally close my file, fucking hang up and don't complete the call until you... Maybe. They got me.